Greetings, Dekalipa here. Today I will be fulfilling a promise I made when I uploaded my first Warhammer video in regards to ranking all of the Primarchs. Again, that video truly exploded for me, and I'm very happy that that had happened. And now, from that video, I had got into a discussion within the comments with a certain user. And I had made a promise to this user that I will make another Warhammer themed video very quickly. So today I intend to fulfill that promise. So yeah, today I will be ranking all of the Warhammer 40k species. Yeah, that's what we're doing today. Now, a disclaimer, this is not me ranking the armies, this is not me ranking the factions within certain species. This is generally just taking the main groups and going from there. So this is just going to be me talking about every single species and whether I would vibe with them or not. So whether I genuinely think I could hang out with someone from that species or not. So I have the tier list set up right here. And we're gonna go all the way from we're vibing, they're a straight vibe, all the way down to yuck. So that is more or less where we will be oriented. And again, this entire video is all thanks to Randy Rugger 9063. I made a promise to him, and this is me fulfilling it. So yeah, without further ado, we'll get into it. But before that, please like, comment, and subscribe, share the video. And I truly hope you enjoy what I'm about to be yapping about. So let's go. We're starting off hot. We're starting off with the Aeldari. Okay. The takes are gonna start coming in real fast. Okay, the Aeldari. Now, what can we say about the Aeldari? They are Legolas in space. They are space elves, okay? Slim, tall, very androgynous looking. You can't really figure out what's going on there. They're very powerful psychers. They are really, really good at their craft. Since being immortal, they can literally become the best at something, where, for instance, a certain class of warriors within the Aeldari can take everything into account, even the weight of their eyelashes when they're swinging a sword. So that's pretty neat. What else can we say about them? Oh yeah, they birthed Slaanesh. These guys made Slaanesh. Oh my god. Ugh. Look, I'll be fair. I know they made Slaanesh. At least it's not the most lame out of the Chaos Gods, okay? I'll give him that. Look, the Aeldari out of this, since they're like mega sensitive, it can really go both ways, because you can either you know, find yourself in the company of, you know, a craft world Eldar, and you know, they may be, you know, they may be just expressing grief and sorrow for what happened at the fall of the Eldar. You know what I mean? Because it's just too much for them, so they can't ever go past that trauma. So it can be very, you know, it can go down. Or you can meet a Harlequin, and this dude is going to teach you the high art of meme warfare, just trolling your enemy into the grave. Yeah, the Harlequins, the the custodies of the Aeldari. Or you could just straight up have a living nightmare if you cross paths with a Drukhari. So it can it can go pretty both ways. So look, Aeldari are cool in the fact, I think genuinely, I think Aeldari are really cool from the aspect of that they're basically living weapons. The old ones made them to beat back the Necrons. I think it's cool that they genuinely at a certain point won life. Like they min-maxed everything to the point that it was just no hunger, sorrow, war, nothing. They just slipped into degeneracy as all great empires did. We can look at our own history, Romans, Byzantine, Mongols, China, whatever, everybody just slips into that. But you know, their slipping led to them, 90% of them being gone and a whole new god to worry about now. Hi. You know what, actually, I think it would be fair of me to say that Aeldari can be pretty, you know, middle of the road. They can be either real bros or like you gotta be like, I gotta leave. Because again, I like what everything they did. I'm not the biggest fan of their armor. I'm not the biggest fan of their like aesthetics and such. It's very, I don't know, their design is something I just don't really vibe with, but you know, the general core idea, the things that I like outweigh the things that I don't like, if that makes sense. So I will put them in we good. Yeah, I think me and Aeldari, we could be good. We good, yeah. Chaos Demons. We all know how I feel about chaos, don't we, right? Chaos. Look, the warp, here's the problem. Here's my problem with chaos. The warp, this whole concept of it just being, like the warp just is, and it's an amalgamation of everything, every soul, every emotion, everything, you know, the good, the bad, the big, the small, the narrow, the wide, everything, the full, the empty. The warp is everything and nothing at the same time. And when it was just the Sea of Souls, I really vibed with the idea that it is a balance. It is a two-sided coin, let's say. There are two sides to the warp. Some things can come out and some things cannot. So I like that. But genuinely, they've been just moving so far into this whole, just one way, you know. Perfect example, Khorne is supposed to be, you know, blood for the blood gods, calls for the skull throne. And I get the whole murder, mayhem, carnage, whatever. But at the same time, he's supposed to be like, you know, mano y mano, show of strength, a little bit honor to it. No, none of that. Zeech's supposed to be a bit hopeful and, you know, change and open to, you know, things to improve. No, none of that. Like, there's none of the other side of the balance to all the chaos god is not there. It's all just the bad. And when it comes to just like, honestly, it's just not fun, to be honest. Like, I'm not gonna lie, some of the aesthetics are nice. I dig them. Some of the aesthetics. I dig, you know, Zeech's whole like blue magic, whatever, the Lord of Change. The Lord of Change is pretty cool looking. I'm not gonna lie. And many of the demons are pretty cool looking, but they're just like, plus they have the most broken bitch-made mechanics of them all. Oh, you kill me? Bro, I'm just gonna reform in a couple of decades and I'm gonna be right back. Come on, dude. Like, do you imagine how much more badass the Aeldari are just by default? They are numbered, they are really on the ropes, and they still can hold their own against demons. These guys, you just kill them, they come right back. That's just lame, dude. Everybody, I understand the Imperium has like trillions and billions, and I don't know how many of other worlds, but like, I don't know, it's just, no, it's just, they're like, no, they go and they go straight into yuck. Nah, I'm not down with that. No, sorry, I don't like it. Nah, I'm not about that. Yeah. Moving on. Next up, we got the Leagues of Votann. Okay, Leagues of Votann. Now we're cooking with something. Now we're cooking with something. Okay, Leagues of Votann. These guys are pretty cool. Not gonna lie. I know they're the newest, and to be fair, I'll be honest, I'm not that well versed in the League's lore. But I know the important stuff, so yeah, being a far forgotten segment of humanity who just saw every star map, every like map of the universe, of the Milky Way, saw that bright center, and they're like, yeah, we're going there. We're going there. I want to go straight into that big glowy thing. Moth to a flame. Love it. But yeah, just being this whole concept of they're an offshoot meant to go far into space to find resources to mine. Whole idea of them just being proficient miners with the help of some automaton. You know, the kin really started off just as a workforce. But then they just simply got very much so, I would say, rational. They just started thinking well, you know what I mean? Like, they don't see the warp and chaos and everything as this big hullabaloo. They are very more rational and pragmatic towards life itself, as space dwarfs should be, because yeah, that's what they ended up turning into. They just, I guess, being in the center of the universe where gravity is just way higher, they just got pulled closer to the ground. So yeah, they are, I think, yeah, they're just space dwarves, man. And they have big, huge quantum computing AI as gods. That's kind of cringe, to be honest. It's kind of cringe. To be fair, that's kind of, you know what? Look, I'll just say it like this. I recently watched, for I don't know how many times, I watched Sats Seamtech's video on Deep Rock Galactic. I hadn't played it myself. It looks super fun though, but I want to play that game someday with the proper group of dwarves. So I'm very much in a dwarf mood. I watched Lord of the Rings, for these holidays as well. I rewatch them every year. So I am very much in a Deep Rock Galactic Gimli, Space Gimli-esque mood. So yeah, rock and stone, boys. And yeah, just because they're dwarfs, they're gonna be down for a good time. I don't drink anymore, but I would go to the pub with them any day. They are easily bros. They go straight into bros. The only reason why they're not vibing is, again, they glorified a computer to a god. They bow down to Meta, basically, to Facebook. So, kind of cringe, but it's okay. Moving on. Now we're at the Necrons. Okay, Necrons. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Necrons are cool. Not gonna lie. Egyptian space terminators, woo, yeah, they're cool. Plus, I love the green aesthetic to it, and everything with Zarek, Storm King, everybody within the Necrons faction is just awesome. The Infinite and the Divine is a very good read. Yeah, but Necrons, look, Necrons, look, they were, you know, they were really dealt a bad hand. What can we say? The Necron tier really got dealt a bad hand. I don't know what we can do with that. But everything that went down, you know, now that I'm thinking about it more and more, you know what? Necrons, what am I saying? What am I even thinking? I was just thinking like, oh, Necrons would really want to shoot me on sight, but every single one of these guys would want to shoot me on sight. No, we're just going, yeah, you know what? Necrons, I dig. They got hit with every single radiation cancer there is. They made a deal with the devil. They got turned into space terminators. For some, a certain King of Storms, that's a good thing. For a certain silent guy, that's a bad thing. But in either case, they are now automatons. They then beat the opposition, the guys who they made a deal with and whom they got wronged by. They got shattered. Dude, the Necrons just pulled a bull in a china shop and just started wrecking the Catan. It was amazing. And not only did they wreck them, the Silent King was like, I'm gonna take you and I'm gonna weave you into this dream catcher that we got, and we're gonna use you as a nuclear powered battery to just shoot anybody that comes our way, bro. And then they were like, you know what, everybody here, you know, this place is getting crowded, all these like pointy-eared guys, I don't vibe with these guys. And then these big green looking dudes, we're gonna get to them, but these big green looking dudes, no, we can't do this. Let's put ourselves into sleep mode. And then they just dun 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 Windows X speed into the tomb worlds, and Zarek just went adios and just went wherever he went. Gone. 60 million years. They come back, reboot themselves, start marching again, and they're like, yo, what has happened to our backyard? And they just want to reconquer their yard. You know what? I think, should I do it? Should I do it? No, I think the Necrons, I'll put them at bottom of bros. They are bros. I think they are bros. I think the Leagues of Votann are the Necrons are like the military bro with PTSD, and the Leagues of Votann are the stubby Trent out gym bros who's an alcoholic. So I think the stubby roided out gym bro, I think that's a bit more my speed. But you know what? Look, the Necrons, I'll put them in bros. Because they're not quite, and I'm vibing fully with them. Because that goes up to the next guy. Orks! Orks. Proper boys. Yeah, we got a good crumpin' going. Orks. Is my placement showing already? Yo, like, what can I say? Bro, they are football cockney hooligans. They make junk. They take junk. They make big junk, small shooty junk on wheels, junk equipment, and it just works. Why? Because I said so. That is the most Orks, like, just being a genetically set up creature with all the knowledge you need when you grow out from that mushroom to just start immediately doing what you were programmed to do is just an incredible concept. That, like, these Orks are truly one of the most fun incarnations of the Orks I had ever seen. I truly am on the side of the Orks, and you know what? I'm not even gonna hide anymore. Orks, we vibing. Orks, we are definitely vibing. Orks are my speed. Orks. Here's the thing. I'm not ready to give up one kidney to start collecting an army. But when it comes to 40k, I think I will be, when it comes to the Xenos army, it's gonna be Orks. I'm telling you straight up, I am going to collect Orks. That's the only Xenos army I want to collect. That and the other army that I want to have are the Custodians. So I want to have a Horde, and I want to have literally the exact opposite, the Elite of the Elite. So yes, Orks, just the whole Gaskul Traka and Sebastian Yarrick, that whole rivalry, I swear, just the fact, Orks are having a good time. They are enjoying life. They are having the most fun. That just wins for me. They are a vibe. And then, in order for you to impress an Ork, you gotta be, like, up there. And the fact that Yarrick not only beat a war boss, took his glove, stitched it to himself, and then made it work somehow. The fact why Orks win for me is that Gaskul had him. He could have just put Yarrick down, but instead he was like, "Go. I want another scrap with you one day." Come on, dude. It's like the whole Yugi Kaiba situation. It's exactly like that, and I am so there for it. The Orks are just fun. The Orks, I just love them. Orks are just, they're fun. They're so fun. Yeah. Orks are vibing. We vibing. Orks rule. Next. Okay, now we have Tau. The Tau. Okay. This whole, look. Okay, let's talk about the space commies. Okay, the Tau, I'm gonna be straight up. I know I just mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh earlier. I'm not the biggest fan of anime. I am not that big into anything in regards to anime, to be fair. I don't know. I'm not into Gundam. I'm not into any of the anything like that. I just like a couple of animes. For instance, I genuinely am a huge adorer, Chad enjoyer of Berserk. Berserk is just on another level. But one of my favorite anime of all time probably has to be like Yu-Gi-Oh, the first gen Yu-Gi-Oh. That's because I watched it as a child, and to this day, it's one of my favorite cartoons of all time. So the whole Gundam mecha aesthetic is not something that truly gets me, but it is not something that I am actively against, let's say. So, like for the Aeldari, for instance. But the Tau are just funny to me. Their whole concept of the greater good, and their whole concept of the greater good is just funny to me when you take into consideration where they are. It's just funny. At the same time, it's just cute and endearing of like how they just, we want to make the peaceful, whatever. But to be fair, that council is pretty. That council is pretty bad. So that council sucks. Tau, where would we put them? I think Tau are not quite up to my speed to be bros. But I think okay, all right, I made my mind. I am putting Tau at we good, but below the Eldar. And the only reason why is I just remembered that meme of the car salesman. He's like, hits, and he's like, see, he's dead. It's that easy. Yo, man, their fighting phase is a joke. It's a joke. But yeah, look, the thing is, I think it's pretty sick that a warp storm just appeared on their planet for 5k years, and then they came out like the Tau as we know it. I really like the idea that they just take in everything and just assimilate. Very cool. But if we compare them to the Eldar, I'm sorry, the Eldar, their peak was a real peak. Their fall was a really good fall. But if we just take the two of them, I say the swings of the Eldar are way more interesting. So that's why I think they edge it out from the Tau. I think I genuinely would prefer the whole mecha aesthetic compared to the Eldari one. That is just me. But I think, yeah, we good, but below the Eldar. Yeah. The Eldar let's be honest, they're just more cool. Just the fact that they're psychers, that they use the web way, just stuff like that. Although, the Tau just being like, no, what? The Tau just being like, yo, there's warp, there's chaos, there's demons. They're like, what? No, what are you talking about? There's just, look at this mecha. Do you see this mecha? That's pretty cool as well. They're literally the Tau. It's like the bell curve. It's like the most stupid and the most genius. The Tau being completely oblivious, not believing at all, and the Eldar who know everything, and then there's everybody in the middle, and it's just like they come to the same conclusion. Yeah, the Tau and the Tau are at the bottom. Are we good? Yeah, I think we would be good. Yeah. I'm okay with that. Okay, next up we have the Imperium of Man. Okay, now we're speaking about, now I'm speaking about my own, you know what I mean? Okay, the Imperium. Honestly, the Imperium sucks. The Imperium is pretty bad. Like, I'm sorry, like, I know there's a lot of like night worlds and craft worlds and I don't know what, but the fact that I'm just sorry, but just the concept of a hive world terrifies me so goddamn much. Just thinking of a structure that reaches out into the sky for I don't know how many kilometers, and just having layer after layer after layer after layer, layers that go so deep that there are humans who go their entire lives without even seeing the sun. It's like the reason why Cyberpunk 2077 is so cool, because that whole vibe of Blade Runner, cyberpunk-esque, bleak dystopia future is cool. But Cyberpunk wins because if you go out of Night City and just try to, chill with the nomads, you just go up into the hills, into the desert, and you're fine. You can kind of be, you can be a little bit of a Mad Max type of character. In the Hive worlds, there's a very good chance that can just never happen. Like your whole life can just be the whole Night City, but a lot darker, a lot more dirty, and a lot more I just like the whole religious aspect works with like Sisters of Battle and such. It works there. That's a good vibe. But just that everything has to be like a big grand cathedral and everything, bro, that is way too creepy for me. And just imagining walking around and you see like I don't know how many servitors per day. What? Like, whoa, just a lobotomized human? Oh, dude. And then maybe you see like a tech priest of Mars, someone from Adeptus Mechanicus is just the whole thing. Oh, no. Because, the Imperium of Man, we gotta include the Mechanicus in it. I know the Omnissiah and everything, and the fact that they don't speak even English is just whatever, but like the Imperium of Man has a lot of cool things to it, the Astartes, the Custodes, the Sisters of Silence, Battle Sisters, the Imperial Knights. There's a lot of cool things, but just if you think of like an everyday Joe, oof. Bro, being the Imperium Man is rough. Even Cadia, dude. Even Cadia, like one of the most highly advanced people, highly advanced worlds that was just so into war and was so high tech. It was like livable, but even that was just a nightmare because you had literal hell right there. Oh. I just remember, what if you are one of the Catachan? What if you're just born on that rock, that forsaken rock, and you had to spend a night there? Yeah, it's like, hey, I gotta go. I gotta call. They gotta go. Hey, sorry, I gotta go. They're going there. No, because like. It sucks too much, but like they're not in yuck because they have like the Astartes, the Custodes, the Knights, and Biggie. They have, even though he is, we can talk about him for a long time, but yeah, we're putting him there. Yeah, it kind of sucks being. And bro, just thinking about being in the Adeptus Militaris, oh my god. Just hearing those Leman Russes go off, just bombardment after bombardment, and you just have a las gun? Really? That's all you have? Not even a shot. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because people would lose their mind if I mentioned the shot. And finally, let's round it up with yeah, okay, we're talking nids. Tyranids, yes. Okay, bugs, big space bugs. Okay. How do I feel about the space bugs? They're just they're just nature incarnate, in my opinion. They like have no ill will, no conscience, nothing. It's just nom 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 nom. That's it. That's just it for them. It's just nom nom nom. So it's really hard to judge them, I would say. Even though they are annoying, especially the lictors and such in Space Marine 2, annoying. But you know what? I'm gonna put them at the top of yuck. I'm gonna put them at the top of yuck, and here's why. Because like every other race you can kind of vibe with, but they are simultaneously nature incarnate, but they're controlled by the hive mind. So it's like, to me, how it feels like is if like you can be friends with a dog, a wolf, let's say a wolf, a more dangerous one. You can be friends with a wolf if you tame it and whatnot. But how this seems to me as if the wolf truly has no soul and is just controlled by something you can't even know or comprehend or whatever. So it's like, it's a wolf, but it kind of is dead inside. That's what the Tyranids seem to me. All the Termagants and Hormagants and everything else, they just seem dead to me. If you kill the big guy, they all just lose their collective mind. Like if it's just, I don't know. I like their like designs and such. They look cool, but you can't really vibe with them, to be honest. That is just, and it's not something that I think it's bad. I just think just for their nature, they're like the only ones that you truly, like if you vibe with them, you're a gene stealer cult, basically. And I'm not into cults, and the gene stealer cults, to be fair, are some of the most cringe ones, bro. Just cringe. Everything that has to do with aliens and cults, nah. That's just cringe to me. Now, yeah, I'll put them at the top of yuck, and they're at top of chaos, simply because of one thing. Chaos has a morality. Chaos has like there is a certain level of where you can decide to do good or bad, to avoid chaos or not. There is some autonomy. With Tyranids, you can't blame them. They're just bugs. Okay. But with chaos, there is that, and then they choose to be a couple bitches. So that's why chaos sucks. The Tyranids, they're just peak apex predators. The fact that they can just cast the shadow into warp is just insane to me. Like, dude, think about it. That's why they're above chaos as well. Just for that, I'll put them above them. Literally nobody else can do anything to the warp. Like they can't, there's no way of doing anything to the warp. Stop it, control it, nothing. Nobody can do anything. Not even the most insane of Grey Knights or whatever can do anything to the warp. They can either not believe in it and just completely be devoid of it, like the Tau or the Orks, I think. Are the Orks? They're all mostly for Gork and Mork, so brutally cunning and cunningly brutal. Yeah, so like let's just say the Tau either completely devoid, or you're the exact opposite side where you're the Eldar and you figured out how to bypass it. And there's everything in between. The Tyranids are the only ones that can actually step up to the warp and just be like, nah, go to jail. They just block it. Bro, imagine. Like that is, you see, that is one of the reasons why everybody can kind of universally agree that the Tyranids are the biggest threat. Because they can literally do the most insane things ever. The fact that, which fleet was it? Was it not Leviathan? Behemoth? Which one was it? They're building something. What are they building? What is that big Burj Khalifa looking ass building that they're building? I don't know. Like the Tyranids are the most cryptic. They're the most, you see, it kind of makes sense that the ones that I vibe with the most can be universally, we can agree, if they pull their shit together, they win. Orks, if ever there was an orc to evolve to a point to become somewhere closer to a quark than an orc, the orcs win. The orcs definitely win. It's not even a question, bro. The orcs win 40k. They just wipe everybody out. If they truly unite in the Great War, like the greatest war of all, they wipe everybody out. They wipe out even the Tyranids. The Tyranids don't stand a chance, dude. They don't stand a chance because here's the thing: the Tyranids need to consume bio. You know what I mean? But the orcs so quickly just respawn that by the time the hive mind sends anything, the orcs are just gonna be waiting and ready. So it makes sense that the faction that can probably win has to go on the exact opposite end with the faction that is the biggest threat. That is the Nids. They are the biggest threat. The fact that when they fell down on Tyranids, when they fell on the planet for the first time, there's a reason why all the Space Marines were like, yo, what is that? Because everything else kind of, you can at least comprehend. You can comprehend that chaos is just, they are evil for the sake of evil, or that the Aeldari are just prideful, or that the Necrons just want to relive a glory day. The fact that the Tyranids are just like just one thing, eat, that's it. It's so terrifying that the only thing that can literally beat something that has one objective is the exact other side that has the exact same thing but on the other side of the spectrum. The Orks have one objective, fight, and the Tyranids have one objective, eat. So, you know, one's coming up with teeth and the other one's coming up with fists, and fists beat teeth. So yeah, that's how I look at it. So yeah, the Tyranids are gonna go at the top of yuck. And if Warhammer, well, I just hope it never comes to that, but if there's like a whole end times event for 40k, like there was in fantasy, I really hope not, because they already messed that up once and I don't want them to mess it up again. But if it ever happens, bro, if it doesn't come down to the Orks and the Tyranids, it's just gonna be bullshit. I'm sorry, it's just gonna be straight up bullshit. Because that's the only thing that genuinely makes sense based upon everything that they've said within the lore. If it's anything other than that, it's bullshit. It's just complete bullshit. I know that the Imperium of Man is the main character, but nah. You can be the main character, but that doesn't mean that you're just like the greatest. I'm sorry. Yeah, rant over. But yeah, this is now the list. I am pleased with it. Yes, this is good. Yes. And that is it. That is it for this Warhammer video. I truly, truly hope you had a good time watching it, as at least as much fun as I did filming it and making it, because I will edit now this, and I just love editing these tier list videos. I love talking Warhammer, I truly do. I know I'm new. I'm fairly new. but it is such a wonderful setting. I truly lose myself in, and I truly truly enjoy immensely consuming any sort of content when it comes to Warhammer. So anything that either Westhammer, Bricky, Major Kill, Pancreas, No Work, who, if any one of them ever brings anything up, I am fairly confident that I will watch them. Pancreas, No Work, and Bricky the most. I like their their approach to everything very much, and judging by all you who commented, you're all lovely. I can already tell you're the real ones. You're the real bros, and I can already tell you are all truly wonderful. And yes, the only thing I have to say is truly thank you. This is amazing. I will continue on with this. I plan to very quickly start making more different types of content, not just tier list videos, but I will come back to Warhammer many more times because I truly enjoy the setting very much. So yes, thank you for watching this video. I hope you're doing well. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 100K by the end of this year, so please help me out so I can get there. In the meantime, however, yes, hope you're doing well. Thank you for watching. Thank you.